No matter how good you feel your communication skills are, there's always room for you to learn more. The most seasoned employees, the most seasoned professionals can still learn how to communicate in the year 2021. Did you know that there was virtual communication? Did you know that there was digital communication and voice communication, AI voice communication? Let's talk about it. Yes, there's all types of communication out there, and you probably think that you are a great communicator in many different ways. Here are a lot of the ways that we can communicate with each other. There's still more ways of communication that are being developed as we speak. Communication is ever evolving, and if you think you're at the top of your game, I encourage you to be open to learning more because there's always more to learn. So, today I want to share with you and show you all types of communication that's out there, that's available, and things that I want you to think about so that you can hone your own communication skills. So, if you're asking yourself, well, how is my own communication? That's a very great question. Tune in today so that you can figure out how your communication skills measure up. So, did you know that there's communication where you can have verbal communication as well as nonverbal communication, written communication, listening, and visual? So, let's dive deeper into that. So, verbal communication, of course, it's oral, it's face to face. A lot of face to face communication is not happening now because of the pandemic. So there's phone communication, there's Zoom communication, all of that is still verbal. And that nonverbal communication is the eye contact. It's the body language that we talked about in the very first week of our communication series. Your facial expressions, your tone of voice, which we covered in the very first week of our communication series as well. Your gestures, your posture, it's all nonverbal communication. Your written communication, your email, your reports, your bulletin, your letters, your manuals, and the visual communication is becoming even more popular. Your images, your graphics, your videos, and your visual presentations. But you know what? There's more. There's more. There's digital and there's virtual. When I say voice, I'm not talking about your own voice. I'm talking about voice technology. I'm talking about your Alexas and your Google Echoes, your home messaging, your home digital, your AI chatbots that you are interacting with over the computer, your virtual interviewing, virtual networking, virtual telecommuting. So your Zoom, your Spark Hire interviews, all of your interviews that you're having are now virtually. Well, not all of them, but that is a booming method of communication. Virtual networking is a booming method of communication. Virtual telecommuting is a booming method of work. So you can work through your laptop or through your computer. This is our communication series. If you've missed any of the previous weeks, I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch any of the weeks you may have missed. This is week 4, and we're talking about your communication skills. TalentSmiths has created a communication definition t-shirt. You can purchase yours by following the link in the description. This is our take on communication. And during our Lunch and Learn series, you can tune in on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or on Facebook to our show every Thursday. Our take on communication is that it's listening and talking. Communication is not mind reading. So I encourage you to keep up with your company's internal communication changes so that you can continue to communicate with them and communicate with them effectively. So the pandemic has changed how organizations communicate internally, and there really needs to be a way of how companies keep employees in the know about what's going on with the company. So number one, organizations should focus on employees and improve the hire and the employee experience. Number two, training leaders to be more efficient communicators should be a priority of organizations. Number three, creating employee centered content on the intranet, the internal communication system for the organization. Number four, track and measure the impact of your internal communications to include your intranet. If you haven't subscribed to our productivity music playlist, when you subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch those previous episodes, you'll find our productivity music playlist that is a 1 hour mix. You can listen to productivity music to help you complete your daily tasks. So, going back to those internal communication skills, number one, open internal communication about the health of the company and about the health of the employees. Employers can meet with their employees using software like Microsoft Teams. And number two, executives should share updates directly. Employees want to hear the good and the bad from the source, not through gossip channels. They don't want to hear it in an email from another employee. They don't want to hear it verbally from another employee. They want to hear from top executives about what's going on with the company. And number three, starting a monthly or quarterly series that shares updates on the company's product or service, allowing the employees to feel included in the process and the progress of the company. Including surveys to get employee feedback is another great way to improve internal communications. Speaking of communications, this is our definition, lighthearted but serious, on communication. Communication is number one, I talk, you listen to what I'm saying in its entirety before you attempt to respond. Number two, you talk. I listen to what you are saying in its entirety before I attempt to respond. Number three, we are both engaged in learning and exchanging information with each other. We are not mind reading. Communication is not mind reading. TalentSmiths is meeting you where you are on your social media platform of choice. Follow these tips to improve the internal communications for your organization and for your employees.